Good morning to all the participants, the students. It's a very important topic. Income tax TDS by practicing chartered accountant Srinivas Nalla. He actually worked in foreign countries and came to India. Has been practicing here. He was actually consultant for many companies. Also, the other day he was the main coordinator for the Dubai exhibition at Hyatt Hotel. He was the main person to organize that. He's also a motivational speaker. And he showed. He has got a lot of passion to teach the people. So that's the reason. And he made his presentation. He spent his time in spite of his regular audit works. So I request all of you mainly maintain that keep your mics on mute. Sir, if they have any doubts, they can put it in the chat box only. Okay, so that we will make it. And Srinivas garu, అది వాళ్ళని chat box లో మా ఇది communicate చేయమందాము. So we'll start the meeting, sir. Now it is for you to start the meeting, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the introduction, sir. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to see what language you're comfortable with. See, you are the target audience. So just ping in the chat box whether it is English or Telugu.
Sir, both and because normally our practice is that is not fully in Telugu. Is only 1-2% maybe, but otherwise they have to maintain the accounts in English and other things.
Correct.
So that
Yeah.
terminology. So let us, okay, make it.
Okay. Sure. Anyhow, terminology will be in English only. For the explanation, explaining the provisions might be in Telugu if everybody is comfortable.
That important anything. We'll try to make them comfortable.
Sure. So first of all, I want to make the session as an interactive session so that you can also understand easily. So first thing to start with TDS, can someone tell me what you understand by TDS? I just need 3 answers from you guys. What is TDS?
Sir, they can put it in the chat box.
Yeah, they can put it in the chat box or else I can, unmute and speak. That's fine. Tax deduction, okay. No, I'm not asking the full form of TDS. What you understand by TDS? Tax deduction at source, okay, abbreviation, okay. Anyone else? There's nothing harm if you say wrong answer. Sir, మీరేమన్నా ఫైన్ వేస్తారా రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్ చెప్తే?
వాళ్ళకి ఫైన్ వేద్దాం కదా మనం.
Yeah, it's okay, fine. Let's start. So here is the definition of tax deduction. TDS, tax deducted at source. So me clear ga understand avalante at source. What is the source? Whom it is a source. Okay. The source means source of income. Tax deducted at source of income. Source of income for whom? Ante evariki the source of income? For the recipient. Recipient ki source of income దగ్గర tax deduct చేసి pay చేస్తున్నాం. That's what. So to understand the definition, tax deducted at source. Source is what? Source of income. That may be commission, that may be a professional fees, that may be a rent. That's the source of income for the recipient. So we are deducting tax at the source at the time of payment to the recipient. So if you see the definition here, tax deduction at source means deduction of tax as and when the transaction takes place. As and when transaction takes place means as and when you book the invoice. That is when the payment is made or payable, whichever is earlier. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎప్పుడు ట్యాక్స్ డిడక్ట్ చేయాలని చెప్తున్నాడు అంటే whenever you are booking the invoice, okay, you have to deduct the tax. Okay, మీకు ఒక ఇన్వాయిస్ వచ్చింది వెండర్ దగ్గర నుండి, రెంట్కి కానీ తర్వాత కమిషన్ కానీ కాంట్రాక్టర్ కానీ ఇన్వాయిస్ వచ్చింది. యు ఆర్ బుకింగ్ ద ఇన్వాయిస్. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు డిడక్ట్ ద ట్యాక్స్ ఎట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ బుకింగ్ ద ఇన్వాయిస్ ఆర్ పేమెంట్. ఇన్వాయిస్ రాలేదు, అడ్వాన్స్ పేమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద వెండర్స్ విల్ వర్క్ విత్ అన్ అడ్వాన్స్ పేమెంట్, రైట్? After COVID, now it's majority of the business are working on advances. So if you are not received the invoice, but you are making the payment as an advance payment, at that time also you need to deduct the tax. So it is booking of the invoice or payment, whichever is earlier. So are you clear on this? Just mention clear in the chat. If you are clear on this, just mention clear in the chat. Just mention clear in the chart. It's clear when we need to deduct the tax. Okay, very good. Very good. Great. So second thing, why we need to deduct the tax? Why we need to deduct the tax? Any answers? I need 3 answers. Why we need to deduct the tax? Just tell me whatever you know. Why we need to deduct the tax? ఏదో ఒక లాజిక్ ఉంటుంది కదండి ట్యాక్స్ డిడక్ట్ చేయడానికి, ప్రొవిజన్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడానికి లాజిక్ ఉంటుంది కదా. ఆ లాజిక్ ఏంటి? ఎందుకు డిడక్ట్ చేయాలి? Anything. I mean, there is no hard and fast rules. మీకు తెలిసింది చెప్పండి, ఎందుకు ట్యాక్స్ డిడక్ట్ చేస్తారు? ఓకే, టు జనరేట్ ఇన్కమ్. గుడ్. ఓకే, టు జనరేట్ ఇన్కమ్ టు హోమ్? గవర్నమెంట్. నితీష్, ప్రియాంక. ఓకే, టు గవర్నమెంట్ నితీష్. ఓకే, what is the topic? Anirudh. It's income tax TDS, Anirudh. Okay, fine. The reason behind tax deduction at source is to track the assessee. To track the assessee. Suppose if you are making a rental payment, okay, for your vendor, I mean, for your owner, you are deducting the tax at the rate of 10%. Okay, and deducting the tax and paying to the government on behalf of him. So later date, at the end of the year, suppose you paid 10% of the TDS. You paid 10% of the TDS. Suppose 10,000 you paid. So government will cross check. Suppose he offered income of 80,000. Suppose you say 80,000 he offered. So government will go back and ask him, okay, your 10% TDS is equal to 10%. Obviously, your income should be 100, right? I mean, 1 lakh. If we deduct a tax, if we deduct a tax at 10%, ideally his income should be 1 lakh. So he offered income of 80,000 to track the assessee. See, he is getting tax deduction from various people. So government may not come and track the people. So that's why the owners kept on the payer. So whom we are paying it, I mean, to the vendor or to the owner. At the time of payment or booking the entry, we need to deduct the tax. The onus is on the payer who is making the payment. This is the way that the government will track them. So whether TDS is to be deducted including the GST, this is many people having a doubt on this actually. See, the commission, suppose example, we paid the commission of 1 lakh and GST is 18,000. The total amount is 1,18,000. So can you just ping in the chart box on which amount I need to deduct the TDS? It's on 1 lakh or it's on 1,18,000? Just ping in the chat box. 1 lakh Vaibhav. 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Excellent, excellent. Many of you are aware of this. But why not on 18,000? Anyone? Why we are not deducting? Why we are not deducting on 18,000? Correct, 18% is GST. Why? No, already deducted as a GDS. No, we are collecting. This is GST. We are collecting, not deducting. See, because that 18% is not his income. The logic is the 18% is not his income. 18,000 will go to the government, right? We are deducting the tax on his income only. Okay, IGST is the tax which is payable to the central government. Okay, got it? See, here I prepared a simple chart. Later we'll go into detail into it. What is the head of the expenditure and the rate of TDS? So for the salaries, what is the rate? At what rate I need to deduct the tax? So if you remember in our last session, when we were discussing about the budget amendments, we discussed about the rates, right? Salaries, salary slabs, income slabs. So if you see, I'll just open the presentation for you. So it is depend on the old regime or new regime. See, suppose if a person have 14 lakhs 50,000, so we need to deduct the tax at 2 lakhs 57,400 based on the slab rates. You know, right? 2 lakhs nil, 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs, it's 5%, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, 20%, 10 lakhs
That
to
is
14 lakhs 50. Yeah. So
then
the
it is
same,
calculated and this computation of salary income there. They must be aware of that because it is a separate for individualized taxation. Am I correct, sir?
correct, correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I'm just
others,
saying
they
because
must.
it's a TDS, yeah.
Yes.
And then the insurance commission, it is 5% and 10%. 194 DA, payment in respect of life insurance policy, 5%. 194 B, winning from lotteries, it's a 30% higher rate since it's a speculation business. 194 C, payment to contractor, including advance payment. Just now we discussed. Contractors who are individuals or HUF is 1%. Other contractors is 2%. Commission or brokerage, 194H. The rate of tax is 5%. 194I, rent. For plant and machinery equipment, it is 2%. Land and buildings and furniture, 10%. These are going to be discussed in detail. Don't worry about this. This is just summary of rates. 194J, fees for professional, technical services, royalty, and other sums referred to in section 28.5A, 10%. Other sums referred to in section 28.5A is various kinds of professionals they explained under that section. 194 LA, compensation for compulsory acquisition of immovable property, 10%. 194 IA, TDS and sale of property, 1%. So we learn 194A, interest other than interest on securities. Okay. If the interest in the financial year, see the TDS provisions are a bit tricky. When you are reading, you should be very clear. If the interest in the financial year, see financial year exceeds 5,000. They are saying financial year, whole financial year exceeds 5,000, where the payer is any other person. If the payer is a banking company or cooperative society or the post office and interest payable on time deposit, notified deposit scheme with the post office, the said limit is 40,000. And for senior citizens, it is 50,000. So whenever banks or post offices, if they are paying interest to you, If it is more than 40,000 in a financial year, it is more than 40,000 in a financial year, and 50,000 for senior citizens, more than 65 years, then they will deduct the TDS. What is the rate of TDS? It is 10% and the income tax to be deducted at the time of credit or payment, whichever is earlier. The same provision applies here. So I have taken into consideration of the sections which are regularly we are using. I mean, there are many sections in TDS. So I have taken into consideration only few TDS sections which we are regularly using in the day-to-day business. So exceptions to this. So interest income, TDS needs to be deducted. But for these three TDS, they will not deduct. The interest earned on the saving bank account, they will not deduct the TDS. Interest on income tax refund. So income tax department, any of them not going to deduct any TDS for you. Interest paid by the partnership firm to a partner is also not subject to TDS. If any interest paid by the partnership firm to a firm, partner loan ఇచ్చాడు అనుకోండి partnership firm ki, if the interest is paying to the partner, that no TDS is to be deducted on that. Then move on to section 194C, TDS on contractors. Here is the definition. Contract includes advertising contracts. If we take if majority of the companies, larger companies, they are advertising on the hoardings, TVs and everything, they will have a contract. So advertising is covered under contract. Broadcasting and telecasting. Broadcasting includes all types of publicity. Telecasting is only the publishing in the television. So broadcasting is the broader term. Broadcasting include the telecasting, but telecasting is covered under broadcasting. Telecasting is nothing but what we are seeing in the TVs. Broadcasting is everything. I mean, you are watching in the TVs and listening in the radios and outside hoardings, everything. So it is including production of programs. So they produce the programs, right, for advertisement, for broadcasting. That's also comes under the contract. And telecasting. Carriage of goods. Carriage of goods is nothing but suppose a larger manufacturing company is there to distribute the goods manufactured by the company. The company products manufacturing చేసిన తర్వాత and customers places పంపించాలి, right? They use the transport. So suppose I have a 10 lorries. They will have a contract with me for transporting the goods from here to my customer place. So carriage of goods and passengers. Passengers is nothing but, see, these all software companies, they have a buses, right? Buses and minivans and everything. So they have a contract with the companies. So whenever you see in the books, whenever you are entering any bill, if you see advertisement, suddenly it should strike in your mind that TDS under section 194C will be applicable. If you see any broadcasting, telecasting, again it should strike in your mind, so TDS is applicable. If you see any of the transport expenditure, then it should come into your mind, TDS is applicable. Again, buses, if you are paying any contract buses, I mean rent for these guys, it comes under 194C. Then catering, many of the offices, they'll serve food also. So catering contract, this is also comes under 194C. Manufacturing or supplying a product according to the requirement of the specification of a customer by using a material purchased from the customer. It is a job work. See, suppose big companies, they are not manufactured on their own. Suppose example Paragon, one of my friend actually doing job work for them. So what they will do is they give the machinery to you and they will give a material to you. You need to manufacture and give it to them. So they will upload the work to the job worker. In that case also TDS will be applicable. So is it clear? Just that clear. Definition is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please just mention clear. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, okay, fine. rate. At what rate I need to deduct the TDS? Okay. If the recipient is an individual or HUF, see, read here clearly. Recipient. Recipient is an individual. It's not the payer. You are paying to an individual or HUF. 1% TDS to be deducted. Clear. Recipient. Here talking about recipient. Remember recipient. So now on, every time we are talking about the recipient only. The rate changes based on the recipient. The recipient is an individual. మనం ఎవరికైతే ఇస్తున్నామో వాళ్ళు ఇండివిజువల్ గా HUF అయితే you need to deduct 1% TDS under section 194C. Contractor అయితే 1% deduct చేయాలి individual. In all other cases 2%. Can anyone tell me in all other cases means what?
Company, sir.
And
The recipients comes under company.
okay. It's not company. It's not only company, partnership, firm, LLP, anything, anyone other than individual or HUF. So in all other cases, okay, 2%. So the threshold limit is nothing but, so when can I deduct the tax? Like, so do I need to deduct the tax on each and every payment? Here they clearly explain tax is not required to be deducted if any single sum credited or paid does not exceed 30,000. Single payment 30,000 exceed అవ్వలేదు అనుకోండి, we need not to deduct the TDS. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, you just type the message. I mean, done. Or aggregate of such sums does not exceed 1 lakh in a financial year. So in an year means 1st April to 31st March. Okay. When we need to deduct the TDS? If it is exceeded 30,000, a single payment. Okay. Single payment 30,000 exceed aina deduct cheyali. Or altogether, if they made payment 25,000, 25,000, 25,000 and 30,000. So it's exceeded 1 lakh, right? Altogether, they made 10 payments exceeding 1 lakh. Then also we need to deduct TDS. Got it? If you are clear, I'm going to. Hello, it's clear? Are you able to hear me? Yeah.
Sir, please put it in the chat box, please, immediately.
Yeah, sure.
That will
Yeah,
help
sure.
us, and then don't open the mics as far as possible.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Just put it in the chat box. So I'm going to start the illustrations. So if you clear on this only, you can able to answer those illustrations. That's what I'm asking. If you're not clear, I'll explain you again. This is the only tricky thing. It looks very simple, but when you are doing, you will get many doubts. Okay, Anirudh, I did not understand. Okay. Anirudh, suppose if you are making payment to a contractor, if it is less than 30,000, single payment is less than 30,000, you need not to deduct TDS. If it is more than 30,000, single payment, I'm talking about single payment, more than 30,000, you need to deduct the TDS. Or altogether, if you are paying to the vendor in an year more than 1 lakh, then also you need to deduct the TDS. Even though single payments is less than 30,000, altogether combined 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh also you need to deduct the TDS. Okay. Hope I clear, Anirudh. So now come to illustrations. Now tell me, paid 29,999. Do we need to deduct the TDS? Quick.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, very good. If we paid 30,001, then we
Yes,
need to
sir.
deduct the TDS.
Yes, sir.
Just use the chart box actually instead voice. Okay, very good. If you paid 25,000 4 times in an year, third question. Do we need to deduct TDS?
No.
Okay. If we paid 31,500 and 40,000, do we need to deduct the TDS? We made twice. One is 31,500, one is 40,000. Good. No money, no. Money, it's wrong actually. We need to deduct the TDS because it's more than 30,000. If you see here 30,000, 31,500 and 40,000. Yes, good. And come to fifth instance, paid 25,000 3 times. Okay. Paid 25,000 3 times, which is lesser than 30,000. And the fourth time we paid 30,000. So do we need to deduct TDS? Yes. Okay. Very good. Now, on which amount I need to deduct the TDS? See, first 3 payments are less than 25,000.
Anytime that
And-
exceeds 30,000.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? 1 lakh exceeds. Okay. Anyone else? Very good, Srikanth. Anyone else? See, here first 3 times, first 3 payments, it is less than 25,000. So we are not deduct the TDS. Fourth time, it is 30,000. So it's become 1,05,000. So more than 1 lakh. You need to deduct tax and the whole amount on 1,05,000. No, not on 1 lakh onwards, Nukaraju. It's from 1 rupee onwards. You need to deduct the TDS of 1% or 2% on whole amount. Got it? Clear? The fifth point is clear. If you clear the fifth point, then you understand the provision completely. Good, very good. No courage, good. So on exceeding the 1 lakh, you need to deduct the TDS and whole amount. Very clear. Very good. See, sixth one. This is a bit tricky. Just understand. Invoice value is 40,000. You booked it and paid 20,000 twice. You will deduct the TDS. It is less than 20,000, right? Srikanth, no. Whichever is earlier. Who is that? Whichever is earlier. Kalyani, okay. Okay. No. So wrong answers. All wrong. Kalyani is correct because whichever is earlier, we are booking the invoice already. We booked the invoice already, 40,000. So at the time of booking itself be deducted. So payment is irrelevant, right? You got the point. Yes, on 40,000 we should deduct, but at the time of booking the invoice. Everyone said no. Kalyani said correct. Or it is whichever is earlier. So at the time of booking of invoice itself, we deduct the TDS. There's no question of deducting TDS at the time of payment again, right? Whether you paid 5,000, 10,000, it's fine. So if two invoices, 20,000 paid together, what is the implication? Same thing. It is less than 20,000. We booked it, so it is not applicable. So if you understand this provision, going forward, every provision works on this logic only. That's why I'm telling you. So 194H, commission or brokerage. Here we see the definition given under income tax for the commission or brokerage. Commission or brokerage includes any payment received or receivable directly or indirectly by a person acting on behalf of other person. Commission మనకి ఎప్పుడు ఇస్తారు? మనం ఎవరి తరపైన వర్క్ చేసినప్పుడు మనకు కమిషన్ ఇస్తారు. So that is what is explained here under this section. What is commission? So here the rate of TDS is 5%. So be careful on the rates, man. See 184C, it is 1% and 2%. Okay. 194H, it is 5%. Threshold limit. Just a second, I'm hiding this. See, tax is not required to be deducted if the aggregate of such sum does not exceed 15,000 per year. So if it is exceed more than 15,000, we need to deduct the TDS. So same logic here. If we paid 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, here there is no aggregate and single payment. Okay, it's only one thing. Aggregate payment exceeded 15,000. If less than 15,000, we need not to deduct TDS. If it is more than 15,000, yes, we need to deduct TDS at the rate of 5%. I rent. Read the definition carefully. See, మీకు ఇక్కడ ఈ డెఫినేషన్ మీకు అర్థమైంది అనుకోండి, whenever you are booking the invoice, you will come to know, okay, ఇది ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది, ఎంత TDS డిడక్ట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది, ఏ రేట్లో డిడక్ట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది, ఎంత threshold limit అనేది, you will be clear on that, right? Rent means any payment by whatever name called under any lease. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, వాట్ ఎవర్ నేమ్ కాల్, నువ్వు దానికి ఏమైనా నేమ్ ఇచ్చేసుకో, ఈజ్ ఇర్రెలవెంట్. ఐ మీన్ మనకు రెంట్ అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్. వాట్ ఎవర్ నేమ్ ఇట్, యూ నేమ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ లీజ్, సబ్ లీజ్, టెనెన్సీ, నువ్వు శాలరీ అని పెట్టుకోదానికి, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ద రెంట్, యూఆర్ పేయింగ్ ద రెంట్. టెనెన్సీ టు ఆర్ ఎనీ అదర్ అగ్రిమెంట్ ఆర్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ ఫర్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ ఐదర్ సెపరేట్లీ ఆర్ టుగెదర్. ఐదర్ సెపరేట్లీ ఆర్ టుగెదర్ అనేది ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేశారంటే, ల్యాండ్ అండ్ బిల్డింగ్స్ ఉంటుంది, ల్యాండ్ కి సెపరేట్ అగ్రిమెంట్ ఉంటుంది, బిల్డింగ్ కి సెపరేట్ అగ్రిమెంట్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ సెపరేట్ అగ్రిమెంట్స్ దెన్ అప్లికేబుల్. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ కంబైన్డ్ అగ్రిమెంట్ ల్యాండ్ అండ్ బిల్డింగ్ టుగెదర్ దెన్ ఆల్సో అప్లికేబుల్. సో వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ కవర్డ్ హియర్ అండర్ దిస్ సెక్షన్? రెంట్ ఫర్ ల్యాండ్, మీరు ల్యాండ్ రెంట్ తీసుకున్నారనుకోండి, లీజ్, ఏమైనా షెడ్ వేసుకొని, మీరు షెడ్ వేసుకొని ఏమైనా షాప్ పెట్టుకొని, హోటల్స్ ఇవన్నీ ల్యాండ్స్ రెంట్ తీసుకుంటాయి కదా, తీసుకొని దే construct a prefabricated building and do the business, right? So rent of land, TDS is applicable. Just keep it in mind. I mean, definition is very much important. If you understand the definition, you will come to know whether the particular expenditure TDS needs to be deducted or not. So land is covered, building including factory building. So building means not only residential building, not only commercial buildings, factory building or land appertent to the building, అంటే land adjacent to that building, including factory building. Machinery is movable, like drilling machines, welding machines. Plant, there is a difference between plant and machinery. Plant is plant attached to the earth, which is not detachable. ఓకే, అది తీస్తే మనకు పనికి. ప్లాంట్ అని అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫిక్స్డ్, మెషినరీ is movable. And the equipment is nothing but the ancillary spare parts, you can say, for this plant or machinery. Okay, furniture fittings rent ki istar ekkadaina, furniture rent ki istar. Quick, only furniture fittings anedi enduku include chesadu ikkada? Answer in the chat box. No. Yes, no Karaji, yes. సో ఇక్కడ పెట్టడానికి లాజిక్ ఏంటంటే, some of the buildings they give it on rent with furniture, right? Some residential properties, commercial properties, commercial spaces, plug and play టెక్నాలజీ ఉంటుంది చూడండి మన ఆఫీసెస్లో, మీకు కంప్లీట్గా ఫర్నిచర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వాడు ఇచ్చేస్తాడు, యూ నీడ్ టు పే సమ్ ఫిక్స్డ్ రెంట్. So that's why they included furniture and fittings. They cannot say that just a second. Sorry for the interruption. So here these are all covered under 194I rent, whether or not any of or all of the above are owned by the payee, that is subletting is also covered. So suppose you are taken on rent, okay? You are taken on rent and you are giving it on sublease. Here they said ownership is not the criteria. Suppose you have taken rent and you give it to others, then also TDS is applicable. Sorry. So here, the difference between advance and deposit, we need to understand. Whenever, see, if the landlord collects security or advance payment at the time of letting out the building. So మనం ఎప్పుడు రెంట్ తీసుకున్నా, ఇక్కడ రెంట్ తీసుకున్న 2 components ఉంటాయి, 3 components ఉంటాయి యాక్చువల్గా. రెంట్ ఒకటి, one is rent, and second thing is advance, and third thing is security deposit. Okay, advance means advance rent for the next 2 months, right? And the security deposit. So here, if we understand this and what the TDS is applicable and what TDS is not applicable. The condition that the deposit will be refunded at the time of vacating the building, then such receipt is not in the nature of income and therefore no tax is to be deducted in section 194I. So on security deposit, it will go and sit in your assets as a deposit. So on that, TDS need not to be deducted. You clear on this? Quick. Clear on this? On security deposit, you need not to deduct the TDS. Clear? Okay. However, advance rent paid. So we pay advance rent, right? 2 months, 3 months advance rent. On that, we need to deduct the TDS. So these two things you should be clear in section 194I. And also you should be clear on the definition of the rent. So whenever you see rent on all these, it should strike in your mind, okay, TDS is to be deducted. So what is the rate of TDS for that? Rent of plant, equipment and machinery, 5%. 5% TDS for plant, equipment and machinery. Rent of land, building, furniture is 10%. If anyone taken rent for land, buildings, furniture, it is 10% TDS. What is the threshold limit? It's 2,40,000. If you are paying rent, so if you are booking rent if you are passing the entries in the books of accounts for a particular person, you are paying rent less than 2,40,000, you need not to deduct the TDS. Okay. If you are paying more than 2,40,000, yes, we need to deduct. This we know in advance, right? Unlike in the contractors, you know in advance because you have a rental date. You have to deduct. Suppose if your rent is like 3 lakhs per annum, you know in advance it is crossing 2,40,000. You deduct and pay him every month, right? If we paid rent on RCM on rent, no, madi GST the RCM అనేది ఇక్కడ ఫార్వర్డ్ చార్జ్ రివర్స్ చార్జ్ అనేది ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ లో ఏమి ఉండాలి. 194J, fees for professional. One is professional. 2, technical services, professional services, technical services and royalty. Definition for professional services. what is given. It implies that the service is provided by a person. So you tell me who are all the professionals? Quick. Just type it here. Who are all the professionals? Okay. Consultant, lawyer, CA, CS, very
The
good, very good.
consultancy means how to specify. Yeah. Lawyers, doctors. Yes, yes,
Correct,
please.
correct, doctors. Very good. Doctors, lawyers, very good. CS. There are many others. Correct, correct. Everybody is correct. So all your doubts will be explained at the end, Leela. I'll explain you at the end. Correct. Lawyers, doctors, advocates. We see what is the definition given here. By a person for a carrying on medical. Medical profession means who is medical profession? Doctor, legal, an advocate, architectural, an engineer, right? Is an engineering profession. It is also includes accountancy, is a CS, advertising, interior decoration, technical consultancy, or any other profession notified by the CBDT board under 44A. There is a definition given in section 44AA under Income Tax Act 1961 for the professionals. Who are all the professionals? So those are all included in the profession. So CBDT has to date notified the profession of a film artist is a profession. So మన హీరోలు అందరూ ఉన్నారు కదా profession. Company secretary, authorized representatives under section 44A. CBDT has further notified sports persons is a profession. Cricketers is a profession. Commentators is a profession. Event managers is a profession. Anchors is a profession. Umpires is a profession. Referees is a profession. Physiotherapist is a profession. Coaches, trainers are professions. I mean, qualified కాదు వాళ్ళు coaching. I mean, there are many people like Endamuri Veerendranath garu gaani, Gampa Nageshwara, వీళ్ళందరూ coaches, వీళ్ళు trainers, వీళ్ళు కూడా profession. So these are all comes under profession.
Sir, but
So
one
what
thing,
is-
they're not having any qualification, like a
Correct,
to
correct,
certify that.
correct. Correct. Even though they are not certified professionals,
Yeah.
CBDT has notified those are
Notified.
professionals. Yeah,
Say-
then here if you see, yeah, they are notified specifically.
But how do they how to show them so how to show that any uh the programs conducted and other things as a proof?
As such, they are not asking because we'll come to know, right? Suppose if I'm a regular visiting faculty, leave about I'm a chartered accountant. If I'm a regular visiting faculty for you, I train the people, right? So this itself is a proof. I mean, if they ask, we can send this
show,
class,
but
yeah.
otherwise,
Correct.
okay, because it's an important point, of course, because we used to call as a professional means who is professionally qualified, like a
Yeah.
CA, CMA, CS, and then
Correct.
you are
Those are all,
yeah,
those are by certification we are
by
professionals. But
certification
this,
we call
yeah, these are all CBDT notified professions.
by practice. Okay,
Yeah. If you see umpires,
umpires,
referees, yeah,
that's all.
referees,
Yeah.
yeah. Physiotherapist. Physiotherapist, basically, it is not a, I mean, profession. But they are
But-
included, this is a physiotherapist.
But they have certificate, no, sir. This is therapy, they have got the courses, physiotherapy courses.
The courses they have, but it is not a professional course. I mean, it's
Okay.
not like a doctor, MBBS, MD.
Other course. Okay.
So here, there are many, they are certified coaches and trainers, columnists. Someone writes a columns in the journals or newspapers. He is also profession.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Here is the definition for technical services. Technical services, it's quite simple. It is like software guys, you can say managerial, technical consultancy services, but does not include payments considered as a salary by the recipient of such income. So manaki, it is the payment maybe by two ways, right? If we hire a technical guy, some people may pay them as the professional charges. Okay. Some people may pay as a salary. So we can hire the guys on two bases. So suppose I have a company, okay, I can hire a software guy as a salaried, I mean as an employee or a professional guy. So if I hired the guy as an employee, I need to deduct tax under section 192B. అంటే salary కింద deduct చేయాలి. Otherwise consultancy కింద తీసుకుంటే we need to deduct TDS under 194J. Royalty. What is royalty? Royalty means the payment made for transfer of rights or usage of an invention, model, design, trademark, patent, etc. ఇప్పుడు మనకు రీసెంట్ గా చూస్తే టీ టైమ్ ఉంది చూస్తారా, టీ టైమ్ ఫ్రాంచైజెస్ ఆర్ ఎవ్రీవేర్ బికాస్ దే ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ద ట్రేడ్ మార్క్ అండ్ పేటెంట్. రాయల్టీ పే చేస్తారు వాళ్ళకి. ఎనీ బ్రాండెడ్ షోరూమ్ కి సపోజ్ ప్యారడైజ్ ఉందండి, ప్యారడైజ్ అన్ని ప్లేసెస్ లో దే ఆర్ నాట్ దేర్ own hotels like franchisee. I take the franchisee, I mean I pay the royalty for them. For the use of patent, inventions, designs, etc. Provide any information related to using an invention, patent, formula. Transfer of rights related to scientific findings, literacy works, films or videotapes, radio broadcasting. దీంట్లో దేనికోసం యూజ్ చేసినందుకు పే చేసినా కానీ రాయల్టీ కిందకి వచ్చేస్తుంది. So we need to deduct the TDS under section 194J. Threshold limit. Tax is to be deducted in case the payment for the professional and technical services is greater than 30,000 during the year. So quick question. So first payment I made 15,000. Second payment I made 25,000. So on which I need to deduct the TDS? Quick. First payment I made 15,000. Second payment I made 25,000. On which amount I need to deduct the TDS? First. On second, okay. 45,000 by above. Excellent. Both amounts, total amount. Yeah, you got it. Happy, good. 5,000, 50,000, 15,000. Yes, and total amount we need to deduct the TDS. Correct. The rate of TDS is 10%. Professionals, we need to deduct the TDS at the rate of 10%. 194 IA, TDS on sale of property. యాక్చువల్గా సేల్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాపర్టీని ఎందుకు పెట్టాడో తెలియదు. ఇట్స్ పర్చేజ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాపర్టీ. మనం పర్చేజ్ చేసినప్పుడు TDS డిడక్ట్ చేస్తాము. ఐ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద లాజిక్ ఫర్ ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సెక్షన్. సో డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ప్రాపర్టీ, ఎనీ సమ్ పేడ్ బై వే ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ ఇమ్మూవబుల్ ప్రాపర్టీ అదర్ దెన్ అగ్రికల్చర్ ల్యాండ్. సో ఇక్కడ మనకు అగ్రికల్చర్ ల్యాండ్ పర్చేజ్ చేసామనుకోండి, TDS need not to be deducted. Okay, clear? Just type clear and chat, please. Why I'm asking you to type this means you'll understand. Agriculture land, if you purchase agriculture land, TDS is not applicable. Clear? Yes. So if you purchase other than agriculture land, yes, it is applicable. TDS is applicable. If you purchase buildings, it's applicable. If you purchase an independent house, it is applicable. If you purchase villa, it is applicable. If you purchase an apartment, it is applicable. When it is applicable? What is the threshold limit? 50 lakhs. If it is less than 50 lakhs or 50 lakhs, it is not applicable. It applies for the amount crossing on 50 lakhs or more. 50 lakhs if it is exceeding, then you need to deduct the tax. Rate of tax is 1%. The TDS needs to be deducted at the rate of 1%. So here, some of the illustrations. How to calculate the threshold in case of joint property. Okay, property value 70 lakhs undandi. Property value 70 lakhs. So it's exceeded 50 lakhs, right? So it is in the name of wife and husband. Do I need to deduct the TDS? Quick. Do I need to deduct the TDS? Property value is 70 lakhs. It's in the name of, it's a joint owner. It's the name of wife and husband. Do I need to deduct the TDS? Yes, yes, no, yes, no. Quick, quick. Please, guys, please type. I come to know with your answers you whether you understand or not. So I can explain more clearly. That's why I'm asking you to type the answers. 10% and 50 lakhs. There's nothing wrong. Even though if you are wrong, you will come to know, I mean, after explanation. Okay, very good. I'll explain you. See here, they said in excess of 50 lakhs, we need to deduct the TDS. So here, the value of the property, even though it is 70 lakhs, we need to see individually. So individually, how much it is coming to? 35 lakhs is 35 lakhs each, which is not exceeding 50 lakhs. So need not to deduct the TDS. Clear? Quick, quick, quick. Just type clear if you are clear. Or otherwise, let me know if you want me to explain again. So even though if it is more than 50 lakhs, we need to see individually because it's a giant owner. So need not to take the TDS. Okay. See, go to second case. This is very, very, very important. Whether to take registered value on payment made to the builder. So normal ఏమవుతుందంటే నార్మల్గా ఏమవుతుందంటే మనకు రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ వాల్యూ అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ వాల్యూ అనేది గవర్నమెంట్ ఫిక్స్ చేస్తుంది, స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఫిక్స్ చేస్తుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద మినిమం వాల్యూ ఫర్ విచ్ వీ నీడ్ టు రిజిస్టర్. సపోజ్ ఒక విల్లా కాస్ట్ ఒక 1 crore ఉంది అనుకోండి, దాని గవర్నమెంట్ వాల్యూ వచ్చేసి 20-25 lakhs ఉంటుంది అంతే. సో డూ ఐ నీడ్ టు pay the TDS on 25 lakhs or 1 crore? See, if I take the government registration value is 25 lakhs only, less than 50 lakhs. Registered value, okay. Registered value. Please, others also please respond. This is actually a bit debatable because in the section from 1/4/2022 onwards, he clearly mentioned registered value. Okay. But in reality, if you come and see to the builder, they are paying more than 50 lakhs. Department people coming and asking the value of the property is more than 50 lakhs, you need to pay the tax, even though registered value is less. So we need to pay the TDS on the amount payable to the builder. Builder కి ఎంత పే చేస్తుందో దానిపైన TDS డిడక్ట్ చేయాలి. క్లియర్? See, if when you are buying any property, especially in these associations and communities, they will include club membership, car parking, electricity, water fee, maintenance, whatever the name called. For all the facilities they will charge it. See, my property value is 49 lakhs. Okay. If I add club membership, everything, all other maintenance and all, it is coming to 54 lakhs. Do I need to deduct the TDS or not? My property value is 49 lakhs. All other club membership and other common maintenance expenditure is 5 lakhs. They'll charge as a one time. Do I need to deduct the TDS or not? No. Okay. Quick guys, please respond. Others? If you are worried to type yes or no also, it is very difficult, man. You came here to understand, right? I mean, you came here to learn. Okay. So no, everybody said no. But actually in the income tax, they clarified that we need to see including these amounts. So even though if it is less than 40 lakhs, property value is 49 lakhs. If you add all together, it is exceeding 50 lakhs. Yes, we need to deduct the TDS and total amount. Clear? Clear on this? Out of 34 guys, only I can see 4 to 5 guys are replying. And that too, out of that 4 to 5 guys and 2 guys are ours only. What is lower or no deduction certificate? Anyone heard about this lower deduction or no deduction certificates? Anyone heard about this? No idea, Sayed. No idea, no idea, no. Very good. I'll explain. See, if your income is less than threshold limit, okay? If your income is less than threshold limit, suppose you guys are paying me rent, okay? You guys are paying me rent. Rent is exceeding 2,40,000, right? 2,40,000 is threshold limit, right? You are deducting the TDS at the rate of 10%. So my total income, I mean, you are paying 3 lakhs and other guys is also paying the rent. All together is less than threshold, less than 5 lakhs. So if my income is less than 5 lakhs, I need not to pay the tax, right? I need not to pay the tax, income tax. So what I will do, I will go to the income tax officer and ask him, sir, my income is less than 5 lakhs. Please give me no deduction certificate or lower deduction certificate. So what I will do, once they give the lower deduction certificate, lower deduction means they will give 1% or 2%. Or otherwise no deduction certificate. Okay, since my income is not exceeding 5 lakhs. The TDS certificate, the certificate which a processing officer gives, I'll get and give it to you. So on the basis of that, you will not deduct the TDS. Got it? It applies to everything, rent or anything, bank interest. You might heard in the bank actually, many of the times people, I mean, bank managers at the year end in the month of March, they'll ask you so to submit the form for non-deduction. Srikanth explain again, okay. See, Srikanth actually ఏమవుతుందంటే మన total income, see, I'm giving on a rent. I'm giving on a rent to you and some other guys. So my all income together, it's not exceeding 5 lakhs. For single person, for you, you are paying 3 lakhs to me, which is more than 2.4 lakhs, like per annum. So then you will deduct the TDS. నాకేంటంటే అన్నెసెసరీగా నాకు ఇన్కమే లేదు, 5 lakhs కంటే ఎక్కువ ఇన్కమ్ లేదు. నేను TDS డిడక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ నేను ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్ ఫైల్ చేసి 1 year తర్వాత నాకు మళ్ళీ రీఫండ్ వస్తుంది. So because I am under the threshold, I need not to pay any tax. Whatever the tax deducted by you guys, I'm getting it as a refund. So instead of avoiding that confusion, the department given this lower deduction and non-deduction facility.
Yes, bankers also ask, na, they have to,
Correct.
if they have the
Correct,
income, yeah, that's it.
కరెక్ట్. ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ సీనియర్ సిటిజన్స్ ఉన్నారనుకోండి సార్, సీనియర్ సిటిజన్స్ కి ఎట్లా అంటే ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ మా పేరెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు, మా పేరెంట్స్ కి అదర్ ఇన్కమ్ ఏం లేదనుకోండి, వాళ్ళకి ఎఫ్డీస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎఫ్డీస్ పైన ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇయర్ లో ఒక 50,000 వస్తుంది. సో బ్యాంకర్ ఏమంటారంటే వచ్చి TDS నా ఇది ఫామ్ 15H ఏదో ఉంటుంది, దాన్ని సబ్మిట్ చేయమంటారు.
15H, yes.
అది సబ్మిట్ చేస్తే ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళు డిడక్ట్ చేయరు అనమాట, నాకు ఇంకేం ఇన్కమ్ లేదు అని అండర్టేకింగ్ ఇస్తాం. లేదంటే 10% డిడక్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఆ 10% కి మళ్ళీ నేను ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ ఫైల్ చేయాలి.
I know. Long procedure to follow it.
Yeah. To avoid that confusion, ఈ lower deduction and no deduction certificates అన్నమాట.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. So what is the due date for payment of TDS? Okay, if I deduct the TDS today, what is the date today? 21st. So I need to pay the TDS 7th of the following month. Whatever I deducted, all the TDS I deducted during this period, from 1st of May to 31st of May, all together, I need to deposit, I need to pay to the government with the person whom you are deducting the TDS. Athani PAN number paina, you need to make the payment, okay, within 7th of the following month. Every month ఇదే అన్నమాట. సో జూన్ ది July 7th లోపు, జూలై ది August 7th లోపు, August September 7th లోపు.
Sir,
For,
this is the duty of the accountant. You have to mention to them. All of them wants to go for a accountancy profession. As an accountant, is their duty to deduct it
correct,
on behalf of the company.
correct. Not only deducting, sir.
They have
After
to
deducting,
deposit.
they should make the payment.
Payment, depositing.
Yeah, depositing, correct. So all other sections, it is 7th of the following month. For the purchase of immovable property, I mean sale of immovable property, it is 30 days from the end of the month in which the TDS is deducted. I will explain you this. I suppose I make the payment today. Okay. It is 30 days from the end of the month. End of the month ending March 31st. March 31st నుండి 30 days empty. Sorry, May 31st నుండి 30 days ఎప్పుడు June 30th. June 30th లోపల నేను డిడక్ట్ చేయాలి, పేమెంట్ చేయాలి డిపార్ట్మెంట్. So 30 days from the end of the month in which the TDS is deducted. This applicable to immovable property. All other cases 7th of next month. So this question, many of the guys you are having in your mind. So suppose I make an excess payment by mistake. I mean, whenever I am making the payment, TDS payment, I made an excess payment. Whether I can adjust in the next quarter. Any idea? Any of you having an idea about this? Anyone? Yes, okay. I think we can adjust. Srikanth, don't think actually. We are accountant. We should be accurate. Assumptions will not work here. Accounting should be accurate. Correct. Kalyani said is right. We can adjust the excess payment in the next quarter because challan is not completely consumed. I'll show you the challan consumption and everything. Don't worry. One more thing, whether I can adjust the excess payment made under one section to another section. Suppose I made excess payment under section 194C by mistake. So, okay, whether can I adjust the challan to 194H or other section 194J? These are all the practical issues will come to you guys. For sure.
Sir, yes. It was practically happened to me. That is our, I gave it to our, okay, one practice. So his person has deposited wrongly
Okay.
into other account, and this, so I'm, as per the law, I am at, default. I have not paid the tax like. So I had to again make the payment and claim it back. So there was a problem actually. If you pay it in one section, other section, claiming is it's some practical difficulty. Am I correct?
No, sir. Actually, I'll explain you. We can adjust.
Can I adjust? There was a problem.
So
he could not
sometimes,
do it. Yeah.
sometimes what we will do is, see, client will come to us on 7th at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to pay the TDS under section 194C. You need to pay TDS under 194J. You need to pay under 194H. So you'll having all these sections TDS. Okay. For us, it is very difficult to pay under all these sections. What I will do, I'll just put it in one section. And when I'm allocating, I have a workings anyhow for the challan backup, right? So when I'm allocating that challan, I will allocate to the particular section. We can do that. So need not to worry if you are pay TDS under one section.
Okay.
In the challan.
Okay.
Okay. Clear, guys? Please type clear.
Please. All of you have to cooperate, please. I have to mention the chat box, all of you.
Sir, we can adjust this one amount to another section also. It is possible, sir?
Yeah, that's what I said, no?
Yeah, okay.
We can adjust it. I'll show you that actually. I'll show you the practically how we can do that. I'll show you that.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
do you mind to take up, now this 1 hour is over.
No, actually, I will complete. Actually, I'll complete this. No problem.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave in between.
Sir,
Yes,
one
Sir, I
minute.
did this.
No, please. Hello, please, type in the chat box, please. No, Mr. Anirudh, close your video. .
So you can ask your doubts at the end of the meeting, no problem. I'll be very much available. So this is the returns due dates, okay? So just now you said 7th is the payment. What is this again? So will come into your mind. So after making the payment, that is only challan copy you will be having, okay? So if you don't file the returns, it will not come in to the account of the payee. Suppose you deduct the challans and paid to the government, you kept quiet, you not filed the returns. What will happen? Quickly answer please here. You paid the payment and you are not filed the return. Sorry, tell me. Quick guys, whatever you know, you type it.
Per day 200 they can charge, sir.
I'm not asking about the penalty, man. I'm not asking about the penal provisions. You pay the challan, but not file the returns. What will happen? I'm not asking about the penal sections in interest and all. It will not reflect.
Hello. Sir, Srinivas garu, మీది చెకప్ యువర్ ఇదండి ప్లీజ్. శ్రీనివాస్ గారు. ఓకే. Okay, there was, I think, some technical problem. It was the end of the subject. Actually, we have to file our returns as per Income Tax Act. If you don't file it, how do they know that you have paid it, which date have you paid, and which quarter have you paid? So that's the reason it is as per the law, it is a mandatory to file the returns. And with this, we close the session, and we will get back again in the next session. We'll take up the please be on. Sir, I'm closing the session. Huh? అదే నేను ఇప్పుడు ఐఎమ్ క్లోజింగ్ ఇట్. ఐ థింక్ విల్ టేక్. ఓకే, దిస్ నాట్ ఎ ప్రాబ్లం అండి, ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే ఇస్తే మాట్లాడతారు. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ ద రీజన్, అండ్ we are closing the session, please, and hope the speaker has enlightened everything. He has gone deeply, and he was also the questioning the paper. Okay, it is a quite a interactive one. If there is anything, we will again have a some other session, some other time. Okay, thank you one and all. This is a doubts and everything is okay. We'll take up in the this other some other session. Definitely. Thank you. Good day. All the best.